So if you wanna get your bonga fish, you better take a walk to the water side. So if you wanna get your bonga fish, you better take a walk to the water side. Can you meet around the water side? Love the fish, we get them every day. Can you meet around the water side? Love the fish, we get them every day. So if you wanna get a bonga fish, you better take a walk to the water side. So if you wanna get a bonga fish, you better take a walk to the water side.
Good evening and welcome to News Hour. Coming up in this edition, Vice President opens Sierra Leone Mining Week 2026. EU launches its 50th Jubilee Anniversary celebrations in Sierra Leone. And PPRC gives directives to APC party's leadership on the conduct of rerun elections. All these stories and more lined up in this edition of News Hour. Stay with us for the next hour. My name is Daphne Zainab Kamara. First, the news are tonight. The Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow, has said that mining should export minerals to finance development, create employment, improve energy, and enhance development in mining-affected communities. The Vice President was speaking during the opening of the Sierra Leone Mining Week 2026, featuring the 11th African Diamond Producers Association meeting held in Freetown. Ibrahim Samora has more.
I now officially open the Sierra Leone Mining Week 2026, the 11th ADPA Council of Ministers, and at the same time, graciously launch the National Strategy for Critical Minerals. I thank you very much. God bless you all.
Our mineral resources, responsible mining, value multiplication, and shared responsibility was a theme for the 2026 Sierra Leone Mineral Week, which coincided with the 11th Africa Diamond Producers Association meeting, bringing together delegates from over 30 countries, investors, and potential players in the mining industry. The week was also designed to serve as a national platform to showcasing the country's minerals endowment and potential investment destination. Director General National Minerals Agency Alhaji Engineer Haji Dabo said the mining industry was one of the government priority areas, stating the conference demonstrates that the country is open for investment and business. He said Sierra Leone was among the first countries to the Kimberley process. Chairman Parliamentary Oversight Committee on Mines and Mineral Resources, Honorable Emerson Lamina, lauded the Bio-led government for the number of reforms in the mining sector, noting Sierra Leone is blessed with different minerals, standing as the potential drivers to the country's economy.
The mining makes at least 80% of our exports come from the mining, with at least 18% adding to our GDP. This is very huge. Especially the president should be commended for empowering whether the judiciary or the legislative to do our role.
Dr. Julius Matai is the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources. Dr. Matai underscored the importance of the meeting, stating government is committed to minerals wealth. He told his audience that Africa, including Sierra Leone, should not only bank on mineral extractions, but must prudently govern and beneficiation.
The national strategy for the critical minerals gives this reform momentum, a longer horizon and a clearer destination. By 2031, Sierra Leone seeks to attract $2.5 billion in exploration and mining investment, establish 3 to 5 mineral processing plants and beneficiation facilities, create 45,000 direct jobs and indirect jobs, train 15,000 skilled workers, generate over $300 million in annual government revenue, and achieve $1.5 million in annual exports from processed and value-added mineral products.
The Mines Minister explained to detail the benefit enshrined in the national strategy for crucial minerals. Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow noted that the government is committed to govern its minerals responsibly and transparently. He catalogued strategic gains in resource generation and contributions to the country's economic growth, citing a number of reforms undertaken by government with the aim to enhance development in the mining affected communities and beneficiation.
In 2024, Sierra Leone's mining sector generated approximately $1.12 billion in mineral export, more than 3.5 times the value in 2020. That same year, government mining revenues reached $49.9 million, representing a 34% increase. These are important gains, and we acknowledge them, and we want to thank the Minister and his team for that progress. Mr. Minister, thank you very much.
In the next 4 days, there will be expert presentations and discussions on the potential of the mining sector in boosting Sierra Leone's development blueprint and Africa in general. Ibrahim Samura, Freetown.
For 5 decades, the European Union and Sierra Leone have walked a shared path of recovery, growth, and development, from rebuilding communities after the Civil War to supporting farmers, empowering young people, and strengthening democratic institutions. That long-standing partnership took center stage in Freetown as the EU officially launched its 50th Jubilee anniversary celebrations, highlighting the impact of cooperation on the lives of ordinary Sierra Leoneans and reaffirming commitments towards a more inclusive and sustainable future. Esther Sako reports.
The launch of the EU-Sierra Leone Jubilee anniversary marking 50 years of partnership and cooperation with Sierra Leone brought together EU representative, government officials, Team Europe ambassadors and the media to reflect on the journey since the EU delegation first opened in Freetown in 1976. Over the years, EU-funded interventions have supported communities through post-war reconstruction, improved governance systems, expanded opportunities for women and young people, and strengthened livelihood in agriculture and education. EU Ambassador to Sierra Leone described the EU since 1976 in Sierra Leone as a dependable and reliable partner committed to Sierra Leone's peace, democracy, human rights and sustainable development. He said for 50 years they have been involved in infrastructure, agriculture, health and other interventions, stating they have provided over 1.1 billion euros in grants for Sierra Leone.
To promote people-centered interventions, contributing to creating better conditions and opportunities for the people in the country, generating jobs and income that are sustainable. We focus on women and youth and sustainable future in line with the priorities of the government.
The ambassador said the relationship has evolved from traditional aid support into a broader strategic partnership focused on economic growth, democratic governance, and regional security. Ambassadors representing Germany, Ireland, and France also emphasized that the partnership goes beyond donor support, describing Team Europe as long-term partners working collectively to improve the lives of citizens. Irish ambassador and a French charge d'affaires both stressed that working together as Team Europe has made development cooperation more impactful, particularly in areas affecting women, youth empowerment, and job creation. Minister of Learning and Economic Development, Kenya Bali, said the 50-year partnership has been built on shared values, mutual respect, and a consistent commitment to national development. Minister Bali said EU's support continues to align with Sierra Leone's medium-term national development plan and the government's Big Five game changers, including Feed Salon, youth empowerment, human capital development, infrastructure, and public sector transformation.
The government of Sierra Leone remains committed to strengthening coordination with the EU. And we also look forward to a stronger visibility in our partnership so that results are not just evident to us, but they're also evident to the citizens and clearly see how development cooperation is improving their livelihood across districts and communities.
As the Jubilee celebrations begin, both Sierra Leone and the European Union say the next chapter of the partnership will focus on building resilience, creating opportunities for young people, and ensuring development reaches communities across the country. SLBC News, Esther Sako reporting.
The Political Party Regulation Commission, PPRC, has delivered a ruling in the matter of petition on the directives of the Internal Elections Complaints Board of the All People's Congress Party. It directed the leadership of the party to conduct a rerun of lower-level elections, among other things. Moses Conte was there and now reports.
Prior to the conduct of the All People's Congress lower-level elections in February, several petitions were made involving the Internal Elections Management Committee, who were charged with the responsibility to conduct all wards, constituencies, districts, and regional elections. According to the report, petitions were received in some wards in the Western area, Southern Region, Bonth and Moyamba, Eastern Region, Kono, Northern Region, Bombali, Tonkolidi, Koinadugu, and Falaba, and the Northwest Region, Cambia and Potuloko. The Commission received a total of 72 wards petitions in 37 constituencies from 37 members of the party petitioners. For the Political Party Regulation Commission, although election results in some regions and wards still stands, several others have been called for rerun.
The Commission supplementary directs as follows. Where an issue relevant to a polling center is resolved by the party's supra, the agreed polling center for a rerun election shall be communicated by the National Secretariat not less than 48 hours to the date of the election. Any issue on polling center relevant to the upcoming rerun elections shall be jointly resolved by the National Secretariat, the IEMC, and the pertinent district executive.
After listening to the ruling, National Secretary General for the All People's Congress Party, Lassana Doumbia Esquire, commended the PPRC for its effort. He also called on members of the APC to cooperate with the party.
I want to thank you, and I also want to speak directly to members of the APC. Initially, when we were at the IECB, people were dissatisfied with the ruling. Now we have come to an independent arbiter who has looked at all what you have presented, all what we have presented, and he has come up with this. Please let us move forward as a party. You may not be 100% happy with the exercise, but I believe that this particular job that has been done by the PPRC is a fantastic one.
PPRC assures the public that it remains committed to settle disputes within political parties as per its mandate. For SLBC, Moses Conte.
The University of Sierra Leone has formally responded to concerns raised in a recent Anti-Corruption Commission report. The administration said several findings contained factual inaccuracies and overlooked broader institutional governance challenges. Christiana Kamara has more.
At a press conference held at the University House Committee Room, FBC Montreal in Freetown, the university's Director of Communications and International Relations, Dr. Tonia Musa, said management had issued a detailed position paper clarifying its stance on the matters highlighted in the SEC report released on the 8th of May this year. According to the university, the former registrar, Olive Barry, and the former finance director, Waltina Mackey, were placed on leave in January 2024 following the expiration of their contracts and not a disciplinary measures linked to corruption allegations.
Part of the investigation committee report was that was not done, and there were implications. But the SEC report says there is no cause to alarm. But for us, there is a cause to alarm, given that the Vice Chancellor and Principal, upon assuming office 4 months later, Audit Service wrote that they should be told it's alarming.
Management also disputed the SEC's decision to exonerate certain officials, arguing that such determinations should ultimately rest with the courts. The university further said that findings from its internal investigation and policy subcommittee report revealed several institutional and procurement irregularities, including weaknesses in procurement oversight, inadequate record management systems, delays in financial reporting, and concerns relating to a $126,000 United States dollars vehicle procurement process. USL management said while it welcomes aspects of the SEC's recommendations aimed at strengthening reforms, it disagrees with sections of the report it considers incomplete and unbalanced. The university management also expressed concern over what they described as limited engagement between the SEC and university authorities during the investigation process, despite the submission of requested documentation. Meanwhile, management says corrective measures are already being implemented to strengthen transparency, accountability, procurement compliance, and financial management within the institution. The University of Sierra Leone reaffirmed its commitment to institutional reform and good governance, noting that copies of its position paper and supporting reports will be made publicly accessible. SLBC News are in Freetown. Christian Akamara reporting.
Ahead of the 2026 Open Government Week celebrations, the National Council for Civic Education and Democracy has engaged the media on its planned activities and the importance of strengthening citizen participation in governance. The meeting was held at NACED's Conference Hall, Stewart Street in Freetown. Aminata Fofana has more.
The briefing, led by NASED Chairman Joseph Munda Bindi, served as a signal to the high-level Open Government Roundtable Experts Panel discussion to be held at the Foreign Service Academy. The chairman said the media has a critical role in amplifying NASED's programs and ensuring that citizens remain informed about governance processes and national development initiatives. He noted that an informed citizenry is essential in promoting accountability, transparency, and active participation in democratic governance. He emphasized that the Open Government Partnership Framework prioritizes accountability and transparency as key pillars in bridging the gap between government institution and the people. He said the institution remains committed to supporting initiatives that promote openness, civic engagement, and inclusive governance across Sierra Leone.
Fifth National Action Plan under the OGP. And in the fifth National Action Plan, we have 6 MDAs that have made commitment on behalf of Sierra Leone and Sierra.
The President, Julius Maada Bio, has delivered a lecture at the prestigious Oxford Postgraduate Distinguished Lecture Series, urging African leaders, institutions, and citizens to defend constitutional democracy amid growing coups and electoral uncertainty in West Africa. President Bio acknowledged the growing pressures facing democratic institutions, systems across West Africa, citing military coups, declining institutional trust, economic hardship, insecurity, and political instability as major threats to constitutional governance. Drawing from his dual experience as both President of Sierra Leone and Chairman of ECOWAS, President Bio emphasized that the greatest threat to democracy is not only military intervention, but also the gradual erosion of public trust in democratic institutions. President Bio stressed that democratic erosion often begins subtly through weakened accountability, tolerated excesses, and the normalization of constitutional compromises, warning that such conditions create opportunities for unconstitutional actors to exploit public frustration. He also reflected candidly on Sierra Leone's democratic journey and his own political evolution. He acknowledged his past role in military leadership before overseeing Sierra Leone's transition to civilian rule in 1996, describing the experience as a defining lesson in the superiority of constitutional legitimacy over force. He reaffirmed Sierra Leone's commitment to constitutional order, noting that despite political tensions and disputed elections, democratic grievances in the country have continued to be addressed through legal and constitutional channels rather than violence. Business owners and residents at New Englandville in the western part of Freetown have expressed concern over the unstable electricity supply in the community, noting its negative impact on their businesses. Our reporter, Christiana Kamara, has more.
The area, which hosts government offices, printing press centers, tailoring shops, hairdressing salons, and barbing shops, has been experiencing frequent power cuts in recent weeks. At several business centers visited, generators were seen in use as business owners struggled to keep their operations running in the face of the poor electricity supply. Many operators said they now depend on these alternative power sources to continue their daily work. Atelo Abubakar Lahai said the poor electricity supply has greatly affected his work because his sewing machines depend on electricity. He said the constant blackout has delayed customers' clothes and reduced his income, making it difficult for him to meet his daily needs. He also spoke about a recent fire incident in the community which destroyed a house. He believes the fire may have been caused by an electrical problem and called on authorities to address the situation. A printing press owner, Abib Bangura, also told SLBC that the unstable electricity supply is slowing down business and affecting production. He said printing machines required steady electricity to operate effectively, but the frequent outages have caused delays in completing customers' work and increased operational costs. Ababa Umar Ba also described the electricity problem as a major challenge for businesses. He said the lack of stable lights affects their work, especially at night, and forces many business people to spend extra money on generators and fuel.
Without light, I cannot work. The place becomes very hot when there is no electricity, and I cannot serve my customer because my barbing machines need power to function. Government really needs to put measures in place regarding electricity supply. Those of us who are independent workers will not engage in dubious activities when there is work to do.
The government really get to put things in place concerning light.
A provision shop owner, Edna Sandy, also said the frequent power cuts are affecting her business, especially in preserving goods that require steady electricity. She explained that the situation is leading to losses and reduced sales, as some items get spoiled or cannot be properly stored during long hours of blackouts.
Like me, I am currently using a generator, even though I buy EDSA credits. I cannot use electricity because there is no light. It is the generator that is keeping my refrigerator on. EDSA is really discouraging us. I don't know what the government is doing to ensure a sustainable power supply so that we can use our appliances. As it is now, most of our appliances have been burnt because of poor power supply.
Small profit are there for generator. So if I buy my house property, then due to EDSA, the lights, poor light facility, the poor appliances, then it really discouraging.
Other residents said the frequent blackouts is making life difficult, especially for small business owners already struggling with the high cost of living. Residents called on government and authorities concerned to improve electricity supply in the area to help businesses and families cope better. SLBC News are in Freetown. Christiana Kamari reporting.
In the Tengbe Town community, residents explained to the SLBC the challenges they face as a result of the persistent blackout.
A public announcement or notice they ever get this 1 week of shutdown this way. And like as you can see, another light and clients come for purchase, but there's no way. And even if crisis will happen, the area to be. Yesterday, unfortunately, when the lights come, it trip. I end up for the speaker, the pool blow off, the television blow off, the fan.
We don't go through constraints, especially for the lights. Now look, we carry cold drinks away, at least we able to manage which we picking them, we able to manage as a single family, But now we they get blackout, so as frequent. We fish them the poil, we think we they put in a fridge, even 1-2 days plus also go out for us. We know they able to save. So they are with the best of our governments making give with light.
From them days yesterday, from last week, so no more the lights. We get people and we deal with we in a customer them, we get problem with them. Some customer don't give me work from last week, today some work and they won't able to deliver it because of the lights. And when the light they come, the tea. In a few seconds. Like me, so as I talk to me for no charge. They upset at the family for the charge. Phone I can say if you not take will I don't come. Since I need to back say the phone and they don't go back. We they get constrained over that side they been made. For generator we can get like this generator waiting up so we can use them but we fuel back.
Hug me, I they sell juice, I they sell rubber drink, they have and then I they sell. Then I do the baguettes for lunch. Then I provide, I cook plazas. for the week. But the lights are how they come down at this area. Outside they get lights, outside they get blackouts. And most time, you know, to meet up the blackouts. You know, they get lights. So food keep well in the freezer. The juice, you know, they sell. Because people can come for can buy, you know, cool. Well, so we inside, the lights they come, but not just stable. They come on and off. You go come, you glad it. By the time you want to put switch on, you don't go back. Then you go come back, you go there sometimes for hours. It's just not stable no more. You know where we predict them. But then today they come all day. Now next day you want to go sleep, you go. Midnight, you come. And so no more the light there.
Well, those were views of residents in Temwe Town community. While still on the blackout in Freetown, residents and business owners in parts of the Brookfields community expressed frustration over the ongoing electricity situation in their area. This came after EDSA made an announcement about a week ago to shut down Bumbuna Hydroelectric Power Plant for maintenance. Esther Nene Kamara takes up the story.
The shutdown will last for 12 days. EDSA said this, as usual, will affect normal power supply in Freetown, Makeni, and Maboroka. Like other communities in the capital, residents of Ferguson Street, Sankey Street, Philip Neko Street, and Dela Street in Brookfields community said the current frequent power outage affects them seriously.
The light business at this area is not difficult, enough for me.
Really? It is not easy for us, especially for us preparing food for storage. This causes our food products to get spoiled. The electricity system in this country is poor.
The light system not good. The light system is so poor in this country.
Get people the way this year. There are people who depend on selling cold water and ginger beer for survival. So this will really affect them, especially the single mothers who depend on their freezers to feed their kids. Shutting down from the 18th to the 26th will be tough for them. If EDSA had an option, it will be better. If any other option, the way EDSA will able to do, at least let people that they able to get light, where they able to sustain from that during the time they know they don't put, so it will be fine for them.
For some business owners, the inconsistent supply of electricity is affecting livelihoods as they depend on refrigeration and other electrical equipment to preserve their goods.
I was selling cold water and ginger beer, but I am no longer selling them because of the power outage. I am calling on government to help us because without electricity, our businesses will die slowly.
For now, we get the lights frequently.
We are not having electricity as it used to be. At the moment, it is frustrating. I am a refrigerator technician. I repair freezers and air conditioner, and we need electricity. If we are having challenges like this, it will affect us and slowing down our businesses.
They slow me down because at times we need fast work, follow get work done easy.
They claim other communities are having 24-hour electricity supply. Therefore, a call for alternative means of power supply amid the maintenance on Bumbuna Hydroelectric Power Plant, they say would help greatly. For SLBC, Esther Nene Kamara reporting.
As uncertainty deepens over the planned 12-day shutdown of the Bumbuna Hydroelectric Power Plant and the 161 kV transmission line, anxiety is growing among traders and small business owners across the city. For many whose livelihoods depend entirely on refrigeration and steady electricity supply, the looming blackout threatens not only their businesses but also the survival of their families who depend on them. Beverage sellers, ice cream vendors, and cold room operators say they are preparing for heavy financial losses as the May 18 to May 29 shutdown commences. Elizabeth Molensise reports.
In the busy streets and trading corners of the city, the constant hum of refrigerators and freezers has become more than background noise. It is the sound of survival. From soft drink vendors to ice cream sellers, hundreds of small businesses rely heavily on uninterrupted electricity to keep produce fresh and customers coming. But with the Electricity Distribution and Supply Authority announcing a 12 days shutdown of the Bumbuna hydroelectric power plant and the 160 kV transmission line, fear and uncertainty is now replacing the usual rhythm of trade. Inside small beverage shops, traders stand beside refrigerators packed with drinks, anxiously discussing what the prolonged outage could mean for their businesses. Many say they're already struggling with difficult economic conditions, and planned shutdown may push them even further into hardship. For Mohamed Kamara, an ice cream seller in the central part of the city, electricity is the backbone of his business. Without refrigeration, he says, his produce will spoil within hours, affecting not just him, but also many people who depend on his shop for income.
I have over 200 customers who buy from me to sell. This is where they survive with their families. So if there will be a shutdown, then business won't go on.
At another trading spot, rows of chilled soft drink filled refrigerators as customers move in and out under the afternoon heat. But behind the daily transaction lies growing concern. Aisha Kabo says customers rarely buy drinks that are not properly cold, making electricity essential for her survival.
For the past few days, the electricity has not been stable, so I'm just wondering how it will be during the shutdown, and this is where I survive with my family.
For cold room operator, the concern is even greater. Large quantities of frozen products depend on the constant refrigeration, and many operators say they have no alternative power source. Pa Almami Sila, who operates a cold room business, expressed frustration over the situation, saying while maintenance work may be necessary, the impact on traders could be devastating.
It affects me. We all lose business now.
This will really affect our source of livelihood. The maintenance is not the problem, but we are pleading for the time to be reduced.
As the shutdown period commences, affected traders are now appealing to authorities to reconsider the duration of outage or introduce a more reliable load management system that would allow businesses to operate for at least a few hours daily. Many believe short measures could reduce financial losses and protect small businesses that rely entirely on electricity to survive. For now, however, uncertainty continues to hang heavily over traders whose livelihoods may soon go dark alongside the power supply. For SLBC News, Elizabeth Molen-Sise reporting.
Earlier, the Electricity Distribution and Supply Authority informed the public about a 12-day shutdown of the Bumbuna hydroelectric power plant for annual maintenance. The notice noted the move was to strengthen the reliability of the national grid with the load management schedule. Amidst the growing concern of power outage across the country, how will EDSA and EGTC navigate the distribution of electricity across the country? Moses Conte reports.
The Electricity and Supply Authority says Freetown needs about 80 megawatts. At the moment, Bumbuna only produces 2 megawatts because of the low level of River Rokel. Minister of Energy Cyril Arnold Grant says maintenance of the Bumbuna Hydro Dam has been a normal routine for the past 8 years, especially between April and May.
It's particularly terrible because the main generator that we have, Bumbuna, which is a hydro dam, at this time of year, every year, goes down, and in fact, it doesn't produce more than 2 megawatts that comes to Freetown. On a typical day in Freetown, we need about 80 megawatts to keep everybody happy. At the peak in the evening, when everybody is home, the air conditioners and everybody is home, we need about 80 megawatts. So you can imagine that Bumbuna, as it is right now, because of the level of water, only produces 2 megawatts, and it is backed up by, in the daytime, we have some solar feeds. We have about 15 megawatts from Makot. We have now, fortunately for us, a new project, Newton, which is still under construction, but that produces anywhere from about 10 to about 22 megawatts. And then, of course, we also have Car Power, which we've contracted for them to produce about 45. So it's a problem every year, and especially now.
He added several projects are on the way to solve electricity challenges.
So in the future, I envision a system where we won't have to have this discussion about power. Power will be available. And we are working, as I told you, we are working with sources of power that are going to be solar. What I'm saying is that 2026 is going to be the last year that is a reality for Sierra Leoneans. Yes, it's going to be 2027, but right around the corner, the Newton plant is already generating. It's not completed, but I was there about 2 weeks ago, and it was already pulling out in excess of 20 megawatts of power during the day, because it's a solar plant.
Mr. Grant also assures the public for an alternative solution of availability of electricity during the maintenance period.
So we've told them, no, you cannot extend this for 11 days. We can give you the maximum of 5 days. Let all the staff work overtime shifts, make sure they work around the clock to make sure that we can do all the maintenance we needed done over the next 5 days in preparation for the new rain season. At the same time, we've spoken to Car Power and they've agreed. They're going to increase their production from 45 to 65 megawatts. That now will give us enough power, and they will power those 4 transformers that I spoke about, which will now transmit power to all areas, about at least 80% of the network will be power.
The minister appeals to the public to exercise patience.
Well, in case you've just joined us, you're watching News Hour live on the SLBC in Freetown. In a move to strengthen economic cooperation and attract foreign investment, Sierra Leone's ambassador to Turkey, Dr. Frances Virginia Anderson, has led a delegation of Turkish investors to Parliament. She commended the Right Honourable Speaker for his supportive stance and for ensuring that the proposed Turkish investments receive the necessary attention to yield tangible benefits for Sierra Leone. She noted that Sierra Leone was the first point of contact for these investors and urged the country to make full use of the opportunity to deepen economic ties. The leader of government business, Honorable Matthew Numa, welcomed the delegation and commended the ambassador's efforts in facilitating the visit. He assured the investors that Parliament stands ready to provide the appropriate legislative framework to guide and safeguard the investment process. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Alpha Sisay, said he would ensure to provide the legal framework to ensure that the proposed investment strives within the laws of Sierra Leone. The Speaker of Parliament, Honourable Senke Paul Thomas, acknowledged the support of the entire parliamentary leadership in advancing a progressive and investor-friendly legislative agenda. He reassured the delegation that Sierra Leone is a peaceful and stable country, making it an attractive destination for investment. As the world marks World Meteorology Day 2026, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization is urging countries to invest more in national measurement systems to support trusted policymaking, industrial growth, and sustainable development. This year's theme, Meteorology, Building Trust in Policy Making, highlights the importance of accurate and reliable measurements in helping governments make informed decisions, protect consumers, support trade, monitor climate action, and achieve the sustainable development goals. UNIDO says strong methodology systems are essential for quality infrastructure, fair trade, food safety, energy efficiency, and industrial competitiveness. However, many developing countries still face challenges such as weak laboratory infrastructure, limited calibration services, and outdated legal frameworks. To address these gaps, UNIDO is supporting countries through quality policy programs in Africa, the Caribbean, the Pacific, and Latin America. The organization is also helping nations modernize methodology laws, develop national strategies, and strengthen technical skills through partnership with international measurement bodies. They emphasize that methodology should be viewed not just as a technical issue, but also a key public policy tool for building stronger economies, safer markets, and greater public trust. And now to health. The government, through the National Public Health Agency, has informed the media that the agency has put in place preparedness measures ahead of any pandemics or outbreak, whilst admonishing Sierra Leoneans to be vigilant and calm. The update emanated from the current Ebola outbreak in DRC and Uganda. Early detection and early reporting are the most powerful tools. Cynthia Kamara reports.
Prior to the recent declaration of public health emergency by the World Health Organization in response to the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda, the National Public Health Agency, in an engagement with the media, urged Sierra Leoneans to be prepared, vigilant, and calm. Although the country is yet to record any case of Ebola, having fresh memories of its devastating effects on citizens in 2014 to 2026. With the outbreak of Ebola in DRC, which has recorded 246 suspected cases and 80 deaths in Ituri province, as well as 1 death in Kampala, Uganda, the agency advised the general public to observe all preventive measures implemented during the Ebola outbreak in 2014, including the washing of hands and avoid body contact, as well as frequent traveling. During the briefing, health workers were advised to report any suspected cases to the district health management and observe all public health preventive measures. The preparation of Sierra Leone is set to be grounded from lessons learned in 2014, hence will act before the risk escalate.
Heightened readiness. The National Emergency Health Committee has been convened to oversee the government's response. 2. Enhanced screening at all points of entry. The Lungi International Airport, the Queen Elizabeth Quay, and all major land crossing points. That is in the Cambia, Balamoya, Kailahun. These are fully operational with trained personnel. 3. We want to pre-position emergency supplies. Personal protective equipment, isolation materials, and rapid diagnostics.
Updating the media on the prevalence of measles in the country, Dr. James Squire, Director of Surveillance and Applied Epidemiologist, advised parents to take their children to nearby health centers for vaccines which are readily available in the country.
With the antivirus that is actually transmitted through rodents, and when you come in contact with that, human-to-human transmission is actually limited, and it normally occurs due to close contact with an infected person. I mean, that is when you actually get that one. And the disease is actually not endemic in Africa, but more East Asia and the Southern American region. That is where
the current outbreak is caused by the Bundi-Bunyo strain of the Ebola virus, for which there is currently no licensed vaccine or approved therapeutics. 117 is currently active, hence citizens should report any emergency cases. For SABC News, Cynthia Kama reporting.
Well, it's now time for our segment, and we start with the international news update.
Hello and welcome to the international news with me, Esther Suzanette Basi. World Health Organization says there have now been 600 suspected cases of Ebola and 139 suspected deaths, with the numbers expected to rise further given the time taken to detect the virus. 51 cases have now been confirmed in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the first case was reported, and 2 in neighboring Uganda, says WHO Chief Dr. Tedros Adhanom. Speaking to journalists in Geneva, he said the outbreak of Ebola was likely to have started a couple of months ago. The 51 cases confirmed in DR Congo are in its eastern province, the epicenter of the outbreak, and the North Kivu province. A WHO official said investigations were on the way to find out how long the virus had been spreading for, but that their priority was to curb transmission. Israeli airstrikes killed at least 21 people in southern Lebanon, according to the country's health ministry. 12 of them, including 3 children and 3 women, were killed in a single attack that hit a house in the town. The Israeli military has not commented, but previously said it was targeting the Iran-backed Shia Islamist armed group Hezbollah. Lebanon was drawn into the war between Iran, Israel, and the US on 2nd March when Hezbollah launched rockets into Israel in retaliation for an Israeli strike that killed Iran's supreme leader. Both Israel and Hezbollah have continued to exchange fire since the US brokered ceasefire came into force almost 5 weeks ago. Israeli airstrikes continue day and night, especially in the south of the country. Plans to impose a ban on UK imports of diesel and jet fuel made from Russian oil in third countries have been watered down amid concerns over supplies and price rises. The government will now face in some new sanctions over the coming months due to the effective blockade of the key Strait of Hormuz waterway since the start of the US-Israel war with Iran. The Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air estimated that about 1.8 billion euro worth of oil products made from Russian crude had been imported to the UK through India and Turkey since the first ban on oil was imposed in December 2022. The watering down of planned measures will effectively allow imports of jet fuel from India, which was previously a key supplier to UK and Europe. A lot of Russian crude oil is also refined in Turkey. And finally, in the international news, Nigerian forces working alongside United States Africa Command has said they have killed 3 senior ISIS commanders in a new wave of joint air and ground strikes in the northeast, bringing the total number of ISIS-linked militants killed to 175 since the operations began. The strikes were conducted in coordination with AFRICOM and targeted ISIS strongholds across northeastern Nigeria. Military authorities said the operations destroyed checkpoints, weapons, depots, logistics hubs, military equipment, and financing networks used by ISIS fighters during their long-running insurgency in the region. Well, that's it for the international news summary from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. I am Esther Suzanette Basi. Thanks for watching. Continue to stay glued.
And now to our final segment, the sports update.
Welcome to the sporting updates that keeps you in the know and the very best in Sierra Leonean sport. The director of women's basketball at the Sierra Leone Basketball Federation, Natalie Massare, has described the performance of girls as a breathtaking experience. Well, she has promised to further support the girls in a bid for them to meet and exceed their aspirations in the sport. Yes, the updates.
Women's rights in general. You know, we're just getting to a place. You know, Fatima Bio has the Hands Off Our Girls. You know, we're doing a lot of women's equality and the Sustainable Development Goals. And same thing, it reflects in basketball as well. We're still trying to get to a place where women are included from the top to the bottom. And oftentimes when we go to schools to do lessons, or we go and we look at the professional league, sometimes women aren't included. And so that is where we're at. We're still pushing. But also women, we ourselves, the young ladies, the girls, we also have to lead in our own respective ways. And I think that we have a good core to do that. We had the first inaugural Women's League, National League. It was about 8 teams, and they competed. They had a champion. And that team has kind of built this core, and they're the ones who've been competing, doing the international friendlies. And so this year, because of the delay with the National Stadium, the league was not able to start. They just ran the men's league. Obviously, it's a little bit late now to try to pull a whole league, but you know, it definitely was a miss, but I do think moving forward, the women's league will be included. The girls, they want to play. They're young ladies. They want to play. They want to be involved. They're eager. Anytime we have any kind of basketball event, we've had FIBA come in and do a clinic. We've had AfriCell, who's partnered with the NBA Africa. They've come and do a clinic now. We've had Giants of Africa come and do a clinic. And so they're excited. They're there, they're early, they're on time. They're ready to go every time something happens. So they're eager. So we're just waiting really for the administrative side to catch up with the administrative side and the capacity to catch up with the players.
Now in the international scene, the celebration continues for the fans of Arsenal. Well, for the first time in 22 years, they've won the English Premier League. They are now the champions of England. We hear from Sierra Leoneans who are passionate about the team.
I feel happy, I feel joy. 22 years, tears of joy, I cry. Because this team are Gunners. I begin support and dream behind this. Then they play, we go to MP. They carry the cassette to the watcher. I mean, dad said Gunners. And all of us being Gunners, my family all are Gunners. This particular year, now we hear this. So all the banter has been, we just keep more weight. We forget about that and we stay focused.
It's like a dream come true, honestly. I mean, because you look at the Chelsea, the Liverpool, the Manchester, they're all in our neck. When I go back to this league, I mean, that was the common saying all over the place. So if the league not even done it, they don't count as champion. I mean, that's how I enjoy it.
So you want, I did support. Of course, me own picky there, I get 4 picky there, they all not Arsenal, they are not forced there. Because I keep play football back, I don't see football now, start you mind taking to religion. I did support. So we picking and never see Osai as that they lift the English Premier League trophy. But for this time, they can now they can see, so I'm very happy for that.
So like the provoking now, we don't know now say any year in the provoke any year, but like this particular year we don't promise and say by God's power this year we will do something when a surprising thing today.
And that ends your updates. Thank you so much for watching. Till I see you again, goodbye.
And now to end the news, the main points again. The Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow, has said that mining should export minerals to finance development, create employment, improve energy, and enhance development in mining-affected communities. The Vice President was speaking during the opening ceremony of the Sierra Leone Mineral Week 2026, featuring the 11th African Diamond Producers Association meeting held in Freetown. The European Union officially launched its 50th Jubilee anniversary celebrations, highlighting the impact of cooperation on the lives of ordinary Sierra Leoneans and reaffirming commitments towards a more inclusive and sustainable future. And And the Political Party Regulation Commission, PPRC, has delivered a ruling in the matter of a petition on the directives of the Internal Elections Complaints Board of the All People's Congress Party. It's directed the leadership of the party to conduct a rerun of lower level elections, among other things. Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of News Hour from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation Television in Freetown. I've been your anchor, Daphne Zainab Kamar. Good night.